Some people act like public places are their living room, their therapy session, or even worse, their bathroom. What about the rest of us? We had to see the nightmare happen. From digging in your nose to full-volume phone drama, a simple trip to the store turns into a front-row view to human catastrophe. But here's the truth. How people act in public shows how they are disciplined in private. The Stoics thought that self-control is most obvious when no one is watching, or in this case, when everyone is. So today, we're going to tell you the 10 things you should never do in public. Not because we're criticizing, but because Marcus Aurelius is shaking his head in the corner. Number 1. Nose mining operations. You might think no one is watching, but as soon as you touch your nose, everyone in the room knows you're there. The weather changes. The weather changes. The clock slows down. The checkout line at the grocery store used to be boring, but now it's a front-row seat to the human excavator, live and uncut. And for some reason, these nose miners never seem to notice how uncomfortable everyone else is. They keep going, with their eyes half closed in concentration, as if they are trying to figure out a secret message in their own nose. It's not a cough, it's not an itch, it's a planned dig, a deep twist, and then the hardest part, the inspection. The careful lift of the finger, the squint, the slight inclination of the head, and then what happens to the slight head tilt, and then the inspection. They take a look at it, all the time, as if they've just found a rare biological specimen. In their eyes, there is a moment of quiet pride, as if to say, "Look what I found in the depths." And then things become worse. They flip it, up into the air, on the floor, up against the wall, somewhere weird, somewhere sad. That snot has now become a part of civilization. It has come to us without anyone's permission. Now, picture Marcus Aurelius standing close and watching this ceremony in silence. The man led armies, wrote one of the most important intellectual works in history, and now he's watching an adult throw trash into the air like it's confetti. Even he would lose his temper. "Don't waste any more time arguing about what a good man should be," he wrote once. "Be one. And I promise you that being one doesn't mean throwing mucus bombs in a packed elevator." And let's talk about how much confidence it takes to do this in public. This isn't a quick massage of the nose or a subtle dab with a tissue. It's full-on digging, deep in the knuckles. It looks like they're attempting to scratch an itch in their head. Epictetus taught people to have self-control, respect for themselves, and most importantly, to be conscious of what they were doing. He wouldn't simply give you a tissue if he were here. He'd give you a copy of the Enchiridion with the pages marked with boogers. There is something holy about being able to control yourself. About realizing that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Stoicism is the art of being disciplined in everyday life. A good place to start is to keep your hands off your face while you wait in line for a sandwich. Your nose is not a toy. You don't have to hit it in public to see what's within. So here's a crazy thought. Wait. Wait till you're by yourself, have a tissue, and are out of sight of innocent people. Be careful not to hurt anyone else in the room's feelings. If you're not appalled by what you've done, don't worry. The rest of us are. Number 2. Turning your phone into a megaphone. Yelling into your phone on speaker in the midst of a restaurant is the best way to show that you have main character syndrome. "No, Tiffany," I informed him. "If you cheat on Becky again, I'm gonna key your car." Well done. Everyone knows about your relationship problems, where you live, how your best buddy isn't faithful, and how you still haven't gotten over prom night 2014. You turned a calm public space into a live show of the Real Housewives of Who Asked You, and no one in the crowd even clapped. Be quiet, or let your words mean more than silence. said Marcus Aurelius. If you say, "I still have the screenshots," your comments definitely aren't worth more than quiet. Wear headphones. Even better, employ quiet. People will reveal the most private, unvarnished, and emotionally unstable things at full volume, as if they were recording a podcast episode called Oversharing and Overreacting. It appears like the loudspeaker is a magic shield. When it's on, the person forgets they're at a cafe, on a train, or sitting 3 inches away from someone who simply wanted to drink their coffee without hearing about someone else's rash divorce or court date. Epictetus would be confused. He talked a lot about keeping your inner peace, protecting your feelings like a fortress, and not letting outside things control you. But here we are, controlled by the speakerphone like it's a golden oracle. And what do these calls say? Always anything hard. It's never, "Hey, I'm just checking to see if you need anything from the store." No. It's like, "I told that guy that if he wants to act single, I will too. And tell your mom that she still owes me money for Christmas." All of this, like a spiritual foghorn of dysfunction, was sent into the air. It's hard to meditate, work, or simply think while someone is ranting over their ex's new girlfriend's dog's Instagram profile. There needs to be some etiquette in public places. You wouldn't walk into a temple, a library, or a funeral and shout about your cousin's boyfriend's baby mama's weave. But the vegetable aisle is apparently okay. The facial emotions make it much worse. The overdramatic eye rolls, the mocking head nods, and the pauses that make people want to react, even though no one asked for this performance. They stop and say, "Can you believe he did that?" And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know you. I don't even know what he did. All I want to do is buy lettuce. Seneca said, "Life is like a story. What matters is not how long it is, but how good it is." But your story is both long and horrible, and you seem to think everyone needs to hear it. Your trauma is real, but your noise isn't. This practice isn't just bothersome. It's also rude, undisciplined, and worst of all, totally unneeded. We live in a period when texting is possible and earbuds are affordable. You can let off steam without blasting the innocent people with sound. The Stoics thought that what we say should be carefully thought out, purposeful, and useful. That includes volume, tone, and timing. It's acceptable if your life is going down the drain, but when you chose to blast it over pancakes and coffee at full volume, you've made it everyone's problem. Your radio station, your confessional booth, or your courthouse are not public spaces. So, do yourself a favor and only use the speakerphone when you really need to, like when you're having a fight with customer service in private, or when you're having a dramatic scene in your own living room. And what about everything else? Silence is really golden. Number 3, public fitness freakouts. Are you going to the park to stretch? Good. It's time to go home when you're shirtless, growling, and doing push-ups on the hood of a car like you're in a Rocky movie. Stoicism doesn't despise working out. In fact, Epictetus encouraged physical discipline. The important word is discipline, not public display of sweaty insanity. If your workout is scaring birds and little children, it's not fitness anymore. It's performance art, and no one paid a ticket. Some people cross the line between encouragement and intimidation while wearing ankle weights. When your breathing sounds like a dragon giving birth and you hit the ground with your fists between sets, we're not seeing exercise anymore. We're seeing a mental event, and not the good sort. Seneca said, "A wise man is happy with himself." Good advice. If you were really happy, you probably wouldn't be chanting "no pain, no gains" while shadowboxing next to a picnic blanket. These public fitness freakouts are always obvious. There is usually loud grunting, furious pacing, and a water bottle that is so big it looks like a gas can. They use park benches as gym equipment, jungle gyms as obstacle courses, and sidewalks as catwalks for their sweaty posturing. They act like you're the lazy one, and everyone else is a modern-day Stoic warrior getting ready for a fight that you don't understand. But let's be honest. No one needs to witness you run 5 meters at a time without a shirt on while yelling at your AirPods. Epictetus didn't tell us how to take over parks. He told us how to control ourselves. There is also the problem of invading space. These people act like the whole region is their own personal boot camp. You're attempting to relax under a tree when all of a sudden you have to dodge medicine balls or surprise burpees. A man lunges at you in a threatening way, and you don't know if you should run or clap. He is sweating a lot, his veins are bulging, and he is shrieking, "You got this!" to no one in particular. You're caught in the front row without permission for a one-man motivational lecture. He also worked up his body by riding with soldiers, training in armor, and putting up with discomfort. But he also knew not to throw himself into bushes in front of old couples. He knew that power comes from moderation and intention. He stated, "The best way to get back at someone is to not be like them." And if the injury is making the park feel like your own UFC arena, the best thing to do is to keep cool, stay quiet, and maybe just do yoga like a normal person. So if you want to go full beast mode in a public space, ask yourself, is this helping anyone? Is this really needed? Will security tackle me for this? Yes. Push yourself. Sure, you should push your limitations, but don't do it while you're hanging upside down from a tree branch in your underwear. Remember that working out in public is okay, but freaking out in public is not a way to control yourself. According to the Stoics, power came from inside, not from counting loudly, grunting like an animal, or flexing at squirrels. Number 4, PDA that requires parental guidance. Come on, we all want a little love, a handhold, a kiss that is lovely. But there is a line, and some of you jump over it like Olympians. You need to stop if your public makeout session looks like 2 squids fighting in slow motion. Right now, Seneca remarked, "The most unhappy man is the one who never has to deal with problems, because he isn't allowed to prove himself." What is the true problem? Trying to eat a sandwich while 2 people wrestle with their tongues on the table. Show that you are classy by maintaining it that way. The problem isn't love. Love is a beautiful thing. What you're doing in the corner booth of a family-friendly cafe isn't love. It's oral entanglement. Most of the time, romance sequences in movies fade to black. No one wants to witness how your passion works up close, especially not with sound effects. The hitting, the breathing, the jaw slowly coming off. It doesn't feel like a Nicholas Sparks moment. It feels more like a scary scenario with bad dancing. You don't seem romantic. You look like you are both choking and not letting go. And it's usually at the worst times. Suddenly, there you are, showing how tongues work in ways that scientists didn't mean. On a crowded train, in the midst of a crosswalk, or directly behind someone in a museum looking at a portrait of the Virgin Mary. Temperance is the basis of Stoicism. It shows us that giving in to our desires without self-control leads to confusion, not connection. Marcus Aurelius didn't live through wars and plagues just to see 2 people dry hump each other by a vending machine. Don't forget about how you hold your body, the sitting in the lap, the straddling of the thighs, the full face eating that happens on public benches. One person is usually sitting normally, and the other is almost like a wet towel spread over them. What starts as love quickly turns into a show of biological union. People wander by not knowing whether to summon a clergyman or a scientist. It's quite strong. It's not right. to be honest, it's hard to understand. Epictetus said that a smart person stays dignified, even while they are feeling strong emotions. If you think that biting someone's earlobe in front of a preschool playground is a good way to show affection, you might want to rethink your timing. Being close to someone doesn't make them less valued. In fact, privacy frequently makes it more important. What you're doing in public isn't romantic, it's awkward performance art, and no one paid to see it. Think about it. Why now? Why this place? Is it okay to wait? If you can't go 5 minutes without full contact tongue fencing in public, that might not be love. It could be unresolved insecurity that wears a hoodie and doesn't know where to draw the line. Yes, show love. But also, be polite. Not everyone wants to see your take on 50 Shades of Subway, so please keep your love life private. Please don't make us worry that we're going to see a dog park conception. Let us enjoy the park without worrying about it. The Stoics taught us how to control ourselves. And that includes controlling your hormones long enough to go to the store without getting kicked out of aisle 6. Number 5. Unleashing the playlist nobody asked for. We've all encountered this person. The mobile DJ who thinks their music is so great that everyone should hear it. They push play and drop the bass on the bus, in the park, and even at a funeral. The bass is out of tune, the words are rude, and the whole thing sounds like auditory assault. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul takes on the color of its thoughts." If trap music is making you think at 7 a.m., maybe you should keep it in your headphones, Picasso. There is never a quiet melody or a soothing instrumental. No, it's always the most aggressive playlist on the planet. Sirens, auto-tune, bass that shakes your bones, and lyrics that are so clear they would make Zeus blush. These walking subwoofers act like they're the main act at a music festival that no one wanted. There is no eye contact, no apologies, and everyone just assumes that everyone should listen to their own music like it's a gift to the world. It's not a present, it's a Bluetooth curse. Seneca would have lost his cool too. He observed once, "The mind has the power to be unconquerable." But nevertheless, that power goes away when a teenager on the bus decides to play his breakup music at high force for everyone to hear. Seneca urged people to look for peace. Instead, we get rhythmic anguish from someone whose Spotify history should be in a criminal report. Let's discuss about places. Who thought that the silent car on a train would be a great place for EDM? Why is there a trap remix playing through the trees on every tranquil nature route now? And who in their right mind thinks that bass drops and swearing voices are appropriate in a hospital waiting room? There is a time and a place for music. But if individuals around you are clearly flinching or taking off their hearing aids out of fear, you've gone too far. What's worse is that some DJs are proud of what they do in public, as if they are sharing a deep experience. We should thank them. They act like they've come to save us from peace because the world has been quiet for too long. Epictetus would call this what it is: ego. The urge to be heard even when you have nothing to offer. He said, "A man can't learn what he thinks he already knows." And these people clearly think that noise and confusion are the best ways to improve the mood of the population. There is a reason for headphones. They are lovely, classy gadgets made to keep your music safe. Not everyone wants to listen to your exercise music while they wait for their dentist. While walking their dog, not everyone wants to learn new curse words. Not everyone wants to feel like they're at a rave inside a microwave when your phone's bass makes their chest tremble. Don't let anyone else hear your music. Or even better, try not saying anything. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't go out of style, and it doesn't come with a side of tinnitus. You can go to the grocery store without playing DJ music from your pocket. Just like Marcus Aurelius could walk across Rome without blasting flute solos from his shoulder. Stoicism tells us to think about how our presence impacts other people. So please be polite, be careful, and keep your playlist where it belongs, in your ears, not ours. Number 6, turning the restroom into a salon. Some people go into a public bathroom and turn it into a backstage dressing room during Paris Fashion Week. You can curl your hair, spray your face, put on deodorant again, floss, pluck your eyebrows, and more. Seneca taught us about being vain, but I guess you didn't receive the message while you were performing your skincare next to a strange puddle. The bathroom is not a place to make things better. If you need a countertop and mood lighting for your beauty routine, do it at home. It's amazing how some people use public bathrooms as their own personal beauty salons. You come in intending to make a brief stop, but instead you hear a hairdryer roaring like a jet engine, a symphony of toothpaste squeezing, and the subtle but unmistakable smell of 1,000 perfumes fighting for control. You turn the corner and see someone right next to the toilet holding a mirror up to the fluorescent light and carefully plucking their eyebrows like a neurosurgeon. At the same time, someone else is flossing with the zeal of a dental hygienist on a mission, leaving behind strings of floss that look like a spider's web. Be like the cliff against which the waves always break. It stays strong and calms the water around it, Marcus Aurelius famously said. It's hard to accomplish that when the restroom stall next to you sounds like a beauty contest practice, though. Stoicism says that you should be moderate and be able to control your superfluous wants and distractions. But it looks like some people care more about looking beautiful all the time than about respecting other people who are in the same environment. And it's not just the noise and show, it's the amount of time it takes. Public restrooms are not meant for long makeovers. They are meant for quick respite. Still, you'll see some folks camped out for 10, 15, or even 20 minutes, blocking access to sinks and bathrooms as they go through full-blown changes. People who are waiting have to deal with their bladders and their patience while seeing someone who looks like they're getting ready for a red carpet event instead of washing their hands. The main reason we go to the bathroom is for cleanliness. Therefore, let's not forget that. When the mirror is foggy with foundation, the counter is covered with lipstick, and the floor is sticky with spilled lotions, it makes you wonder if grooming in public is really helping or just making things worse. Seneca said, "Every new beginning comes from the end of another beginning." It's time to put an end to the era of restroom salons and start a new chapter in how to behave in the bathroom. That's great if your regimen needs a lot of products, changes in lighting, and focused work. Just take it home. Your family and roommates will like the peace and quiet, the privacy, and the fact that the bathroom floor won't appear like a beauty supply store erupted. And everyone else will be grateful that you let the public restroom stay what it is, a place to get quick, required relief, not a stage for your skincare routines. So the next time you want to use the curling iron or pull out the eyebrow tweezers, think of what the Stoics said about self-control and respect. Don't use the salon in the bathroom. Use it in the bedroom. Dignity isn't just about how you look. It's also about how you act when no one is watching, or in this case, when a dozen strangers are waiting behind you with mounting desperation. Number 7, vlogging like the apocalypse is coming. Yes, you're making your brand stronger. Yes, you are just spreading positivity. But if you're blocking an aisle at a grocery store and yelling into your phone about 5 morning habits that changed your life, you're not a guru, you're a danger. Epictetus told us, Don't explain your philosophy, live it. So maybe you should represent calm and minimal disruption by capturing your 4 a.m. miracle routine somewhere that doesn't entail folks trying to get to the cereal rack. There is definitely something magical about vlogging. When you share your views, your journey, and your wisdom, it's like letting the world into your own world. But some people act like every public space is their own studio. Now that quiet cafe is a stage, and you're giving a Broadway-worthy monologue. You are telling your stories so loudly and dramatically that others who are just passing by might think that the zombie apocalypse is happening, or at least a really intense infomercial. It's not only the noise, it's also the show. Setting up lighting, changing angles, stopping traffic, and saying things like, "Hey, beautiful souls," like you're hosting a late-night talk show. Customers stumble into you. The barista rolls her eyes behind the counter, and the old couple at the next table just wants coffee and quiet. Stoicism promotes being humble and present, not turning every public moment into a show. Even though Marcus Aurelius was a great emperor, he recognized how important it was to be calm and dignified. He remarked, "When you wake up in the morning, think about how lucky you are to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, and to love." But he definitely didn't mean for you to yell that to a group of confused shoppers while balancing your phone on top of a pile of canned beans. Even worse, some public vloggers want others to interact with them right away. Leave a comment below, hit that like button, share this with your best friend. They yell, as if their random speech in the grocery store aisle is the key to world peace. People who can't even get to the bread aisle aren't exactly stopping to listen to your manifest your dreams speech. So, as a friendly reminder, if your vlogging is causing problems in public, you should think about moving it. Your message might be great, but if you don't say it well, it could get lost in a tsunami of anger. Pick your spot carefully. It may be a park bench, your homeroom, or a soundproof studio, just not the checkout line at Walmart. Number 8. Public arguments with imaginary people. Have you ever seen someone pacing in circles with their fists clenched and ranting complete sentences to no one? It's a one-person show of a courtroom drama, and we're the unwilling audience. It may be a fake argument, a mental repeat, or it could just be Tuesday. It's scary no matter what. Marcus Aurelius said that you should learn to control your emotions, not act out the whole episode of Law and Order Delusion Unit in a bus station. It's time to back off if you're arguing with someone who isn't there or isn't real. Or think about it, or both. It's rather disturbing to see someone fight with shadows, throwing invisible punches and sticking their fingers into thin air to make their points. One minute they're muttering harsh accusations, and the next minute they're shouting threats that seem like they belong in a trial, but the defendant, witness, and jury are all missing. It's like a one-person show, except no one bought a ticket, and everyone is wondering if they should call security or just cross the street. Being stoic is being able to control yourself and think clearly. Epictetus told us to tell the difference between what we can change and what we can't. But these public gladiators always lose that fight. They can't handle what's going on, so they make up an enemy they can't see. The issue? The arguer fills the silence with louder, more dramatic phrases, sometimes with things you wouldn't say in front of mixed company. The other person doesn't respond. Seneca might have dubbed this furor, which means madness to be avoided. What if Marcus Aurelius was also waiting at the same bus stop? He would probably watch the storm calmly and remind himself, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And right now, the reaction seems like a meltdown that would be great for the end of a reality show. There's no winner here, only mayhem, bewilderment, and a gathering throng wondering if there's an unseen microphone or if this is just a free-for-all. It's time to stop when you notice yourself practicing angry speeches or arguing with ghosts. To take a breath. To take a step back and think. You may try meditating, writing in a notebook, or calling a buddy who is genuine and can help you deal with your problems instead of the fictitious enemy who is clearly winning by not being there. The world doesn't need to see your internal fights played over and over in public. It needs you to be calm, there, and grounded. So, if you want to show off your private courtroom drama in public, remember that Stoicism is about controlling your emotions, not putting on a show. If nothing else works, chat to me in the comments instead. I'll at least listen without judging. Number 9. Live commentary in movie theaters. Some individuals assume that when they watch a movie, they have to talk about every plot twist, give their opinion, and ask questions such, "Why would she go in there?" as if they were in the writer's room. Here's a bombshell of a truth. No one paid to listen to you. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen more than we talk." So go ahead and do it. Stop talking about why the villain's reason is weak and let everyone enjoy the movie without your TED Talk. It's strange that some people feel the need to talk during movies, making a communal experience into a one-man podcast that no one else wants to listen to. While the hero is in danger on screen, you are talking about narrative holes, casting choices, and how you would have done it better such that 5 rows can hear you. You aren't making people laugh with the movie, you're making them cringe with your unwanted analysis. Seneca said, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings." But these critics who put themselves in charge see silence as the enemy and fill every calm moment with comments that could be the subject of an academic lecture. And if there's a twist, oh no, expect a gasp followed by a murmured but loud, "No way," or worse, "That's so stupid." Everyone in the theater now agrees with you, whether they want to or not. Then the questions come. Why did he do that? Who is that guy again? Wait, wasn't she supposed to be dead? We understand. Movies can be hard to understand at times. But the theater isn't your study group. Write down any questions you have and ask your pals after the credits roll. Not live, not during the climax, and definitely not when everyone is holding their breath. Marcus Aurelius recognized how powerful it was to be patient and watch. He added, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is wrong, I will gladly change because I want to know the truth. But if that person is stopping the story every 5 minutes to give you feedback, you're not looking for the truth. You're looking for attention." The theater is a holy place for telling stories, getting lost in them, and sharing experiences. It's not just disrespectful to interrupt it with your continued monologue. It's also selfish. Because you couldn't keep your thoughts to yourself, you're taking away the potential for others to feel affected, startled, or afraid. So the next time you want to talk about the movie while it's playing, be like a Stoic. Listen more, talk less, and keep your comments for the lobby. Believe me, the popcorn will taste better if you don't talk. Number 10. Public grooming nightmares. And last but not least, the worst crime in public, grooming yourself in public places. Trimming your toenails on a train, flossing in a coffee shop, squeezing zits on a park bench. These are not just bad manners, they are abuses of human rights. Seneca would be quite upset. He thought that self-respect and inner attractiveness were more important than scraping dead skin off your heels in front of a playground. Good hygiene. Like a caveman at a food court? Not really. The need to groom oneself is something really basic, like an instinct that has been around since the beginning of time. There is also an underlying social contract that states, we'll all take care of ourselves, but please don't do it in the middle of the quinoa aisle. Some people, on the other hand, act like public places are their own personal grooming salons, without caring if everyone else is horrified and uncomfortable. The sound of nail clippers clicking on the subway, the sight of someone calmly popping a pimple as if they were watching a tutorial, and the faint but definite smell of foot spray coming through the bus are all times when we have to be polite. The most Stoic person, Marcus Aurelius, stressed the importance of dignity and controlling one's basic urges. He said, "Stop arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. But when you pick at dead skin or floss your teeth in public, you're quietly saying that your comfort is more important than everyone else's. And that's not dignified. It's rude and poorly timed." People who groom in public can also make strangers physically back away. Parents draw their kids closer, people on the bus go to different seats, and people who aren't involved avoid eye contact like they're seeing a biohazard. It's not so much about vanity as it is about hygiene theater gone bad. If you're going to take care of yourself, do it with respect, not like you're trying out for a survival reality show at a mall. Seneca said, "The greatest wealth is a lack of desires." But here, desires run wild. The urge to appear nice, feel clean, or just get through the day. The Stoics would tell you to put that desire at the right time and place. You should keep your hands on your grooming items, but not on public benches or bus seats. Keeping your personal routines to yourself is the best way to protect your dignity and hygiene. So the next time you want to clip, floss, pop, or scratch in public, stop and ask yourself, would Marcus Aurelius do this? If the answer is no, as it probably is, then wait till you're alone. Your future self, the people you ride with, and Seneca himself will all be grateful. Real self-respect is at its best when it's quiet, private, and kind, not when it's loudly cutting across aisle 7. Respect is more important than merely following the rules when you're in public. For other people, for you. Because we all live in this world, and maybe we should try not to mess it up for each other. The Stoics weren't killjoys. They weren't machines who didn't feel joy. They thought that being conscious, having self-control, and acting thoughtfully made life better for everyone, not just you. So let's take a lesson from them. Stop flossing. Turn down the sound. Kiss only a little bit. And for Marcus's sake, please don't put your fingers in your nose. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button. If you've seen or done something horrible in public, please share it in the comments. Now is the time to subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video could be about you.